So in Convent Hall, there's two really great art spaces, primarily for fine art, making, painting. But beyond the classroom, there's a lot of spaces that is activated by student works. So there's a lot of gallery spaces where students can activate with their own work. And part of my job, beyond teaching, beyond grading, is to help students install works and help them write their curatorial statements. So there's a lot of professional practice there. And also, there's just a lot of opportunities for students to propose work. So if they decide, they can come into art classroom, even if they're not in the Art Foundations 1 or 2 class, and come talk to me and actually work with me independently with their projects. So that's a really great time for students to just be very proactive and, own the work that they want to make. So where I felt was a great teaching moment was with a specific student during his senior year. He was extremely frustrated with one of his pieces, and throughout the weeks he was working on it, he would always say, I hate the process, I hate what I'm doing, it's really difficult. And I would coax him into just sticking with the process and knowing that at the end you would look back and it would all have been worth it. And of course he didn't believe me when I said that. But at the end of 3 weeks, he looked at his piece, which was a book cut out with, an altar inside. And he was just so in love with what he made, and he couldn't believe it. So he was just saying, Miss Suchanya, I can't believe I did this. And I'm like, Diego, you put 100% into your work, and you can take this back with you, and this is something you can look back, and you know that no matter what happens in the future, when you put your mind to it, when you persevere, you can make something amazing. So for this project, it's called the Spirit Animal Project, and through learning through the curriculum design in AAU, I learned a lot about sequencing and having to break down the steps in order to make the work possible. So for this project, the objective was to have kids think about their identity beyond just the portrait or just their interests. So they had to think of an animal that they best connected with, whether spiritually or in terms of temperament. It could be anything, really. And to add on to that, it was also a class talking primarily about color theory. We went through the color wheel, we talked about color and how it can invoke emotion, and also different color harmonies like split complementary, analogous colors. So they were learning the language alongside. And for the project, once they decided on the animal, we went through sketching phases, thumbnail sketches, and also color sketches. So one of the challenges students were having were once they decided on an idea, they wanted to just go for it. And my challenge was to say, slow down, do your sketches, think about your options, and then when you're happy with it, then we go for final. And that was a big learning curve for a lot of them. But the result was a lot better because they've pushed the boundaries, they've tested the waters, and now you've got your final because you've done your experimentations. They were also required to write an artist statement about the animal they chose and why, and also their struggles throughout the process and their successes. So to add on to the art making, it's also reflecting on the experience of art making and kind of being really aware of how we're learning and what we're learning through the process.